Ooh. Oh, is that you?
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Reviews and News podcast. I'm Daniel, and we got Zenora over here. And today we will be talking about The Flash.
The Flash, starring Ezra Miller, Michael Keaton, a Latina girl. I don't know her name. I could say that because I'm Latino. And a bunch of other people. But we did see it. Me and Dan actually saw it together. Um, so what was it? 2 weeks ago, right? About two
Yeah,
weeks
2 weeks
ago.
ago. The week
Um,
was it the weekend it came out? Yeah, I think so.
yes, I think so. It was a good movie overall. We should start.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, no, no. We both, we both enjoyed it. Of course, there's cons, but like, there's cons with any movie. I think they took a really, really great concept, you know, from
Mhm.
the Flash lore, Flat being the Flashpoint paradox, and they made it their own.
Right.
Um, you could argue that it's worse than the original concept in some ways, but it's definitely more of a story about, the Flash facing his own demons and not really about, uh, really some external threat as like the Flashpoint paradox kind of was in a way. Because
Yeah, my the only thing I would critique is when he's like in that little speed force trying to figure out where to go. Like it was just like very jumbled together.
oh, the CGI was trash. Yeah,
That
yeah.
part was just not good.
Or at the beginning of the movie too, when he was like running and it looked so fake. It looked like he was
Yeah,
gliding on the ground. Like,
it's because it's also like the way he runs and the way he just like throws his arms like
yeah, it's just like the Eternals, like the Marvel movie, the Eternals, they had a speedster on that ensemble cast, and the way that they portrayed her running fast was
Mhm.
really good. So it is possible. Like the CGI was just overall was just terrible. I don't know why, what happened, but like from the um infamous, I guess. Well, it would be infamous in the
Spoiler
future.
alert, you mean?
Yes, but no, I was gonna say yeah, but no, not infamous. It was the baby scene at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They
It,
spoiled that way before.
the CGI in parts wasn't amazing, but I would say it didn't take away from the movie. Is what I
Yeah,
would say. Like you can get past the CGI of it and still enjoy the movie just because the way the scenes were choreographed were still pretty good. Like even that baby scene. Yeah, the CGI with the babies was like terrible, but the way it was done was not only funny, but I feel like you really got to see Flash internalize strategy and put it into action.
that's true. Honestly, like you said, the CGI is not wasn't like yeah, it was like not great in certain parts. But in certain parts are they were pretty good.
Mhm.
So definitely, it's something that I would recommend watching it. It's a good movie overall. Just make sure, just kind of keep that in mind, right, when you're watching it, that the CGI is something left to be desired, I guess.
I mean, that's a big issue with movies anyway. Like the CGI is up and down. Like you don't really get like a consistent CGI experience.
No,
Which I
for sure.
mean,
Hmm.
You just gotta, like I said, move past and just enjoy the movie for what it was. I would just say in comparison to Shazam up until and the Flash, like total improvement, like a
Oh,
hundred times improvement in terms of story and overall movie.
I
Like
like
Shazam,
Shazam.
the second one, that was
Yeah.
trash. That was trash. The second Shazam was trash, absolute garbage.
Hmm.
It just felt so forced.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't mind it, honestly.
Are we talking about the same movie? Because
This is coming from the man
Shazam,
that loves Doctor Strange multiverse.
Shazam, Fury of the Gods was trash. Like trash. The story was trash.
I wouldn't call it trash.
What about that story was good?
I guess there was. They could have improved on the story. Yeah, it seemed in parts to be like kind of like a Marvel movie. The way that
I
they
would
try to
agree. I
they
would
try to
agree.
put the jokes in.
Very
I think the
forced,
first,
yeah.
yeah, the first one kind of did it well, where it was, of course, since it's Shazam, it's got to be a little bit more lighthearted, but they did it well in regards to kind of putting much more of a darker tone since it is a DC
I
evil
think
movie.
I think where Shazam Fury of the Gods went wrong and that the first one went well was that it split up like him out of Shazam and him in Shazam very well in terms of like blending the story together. And Fury of the Gods, it was so Shazam focused and not so much like Billy
Mm.
focused. So like it was just like inconsistent in developing that story. I feel like in comparison to the first one where it was like him getting the powers and him like trying to figure out how to balance Shazam with everything else going on in his life. Like you had the whole story about him finding like trying to figure out like what's going on with his mom and shit in the first one. And this one it was just like, all right, what's Billy's story versus what like this is really Shazam's story at this point.
Well,
All the only thing with Billy was him liking the girl. That was it. That was it.
but Billy was also saying like we want to be closer as a family too. That was like a Billy thing.
But like after the whole entire family got superpowers, the whole family thing just was thrown out the window until the end of the movie.
In the no, in the second one.
In the
Remember,
second
he
one, yeah,
said I
yeah,
wanted to
yeah.
be, yeah, he wanted to be family again or something and stuff like that. I guess I didn't find it that bad, but I also watched it at home and I didn't watch it in theaters.
Oh yeah, that I mean that definitely gives you a couple notches towards it
Yeah.
being a good movie just because you didn't pay anything out to it. You didn't expend any energy to go see it.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true. I think that's you know what I mean. It's like I had to sit here for 2 hours. I had to drive
But
from
I
Liverpool
also
here.
I watched it at home too. I didn't watch it in theaters. I like from the trailer itself, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna go see this in theaters.
Well, can we trust your opinion? You do like Doctor Strange.
Listen, Doctor Strange is liked by a lot of people.
Yeah, because it's Marvel.
It's just Doctor Strange in comparison to the rest of the movies that came out around that time
Hmm.
did was a much better movie than those. Doctor
Speaking of
Strange
which,
way better than Ant-Man.
yeah, yeah, I agree. I think I think my problem was, and I'll keep saying this, is that the marketing was, just the title itself, Multiverse of Madness. Like,
It's
no.
also it's also like with this whole multiverse shit, it's like it's oversaturated. Like everything's
Hmm.
multiverse. Even outside of Marvel, you got DC multiverse. You got everything everywhere all at once multiverse. Like everything's about the multiverse now. Everything's about like quantum theory and all that. Like it's just an oversaturated market at this point. We're like, all right, we're tired of the
Hmm.
multiverse.
Even Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, even Dragon Ball Z. It's just like, all right, when are we going to get over the multiverse?
Alright, one more thing. Have you seen Secret Invasion yet?
I have not watched Secret Invasion yet.
It's not bad.
I heard it wasn't too bad. I heard the first episode was really good.
It's kind of like forgettable, but overall, it's not super bad.
I honestly don't think they did a solid job with marketing that because I didn't hear about it from like when they announced it up until when it first came out.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, no. I agree with that. I
Like
was
even
like, wait.
She Hulk had mad marketing.
hmm
Like She Hulk was thrown in your face with the marketing.
Was She Hulk the last TV show before Secret Invasion? Not counting the Guardian special.
I think it might have been actually.
I think they're slowing it down. I think they're gonna cancel a bunch of shows after She Hulk.
You think?
Fuck yeah, it's doing so terribly. Like the numbers aren't as good as they want it to be. Like the numbers aren't reaching the numbers that they were in its prime. Like like
Mm-hmm.
before Infinity War, and it's just making it worse. Like Steve, remember Steve saying like he was calling it before we were calling it. People are getting tired of it.
It's just so hard with like a TV show because you're forcing people to have this streaming platform versus a movie where like all right everyone just has to pay to see it. A streaming platform, it's like either you have Disney Plus or you don't have Disney Plus and you'll be able to watch it,
hmm
and it's like a monthly type of thing. Like it's like you got to pay every month to watch whatever, and especially with TV shows that come out like once a week, that's like that drags on over to like multiple months. So who's trying to pay a fee every month versus a movie you go see it once in theaters, you drop that $20 or whatever it is, and that's just it. It's hard.
Mm, yeah, but quality counts too. Yeah, I wouldn't mind paying if it was
Quality
actually
does
really
count.
good. She Hulk wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good.
See, I didn't mind She Hulk. I like She Hulk because I knew what they were trying to do with it.
But would you have watched that show if it wasn't a Marvel show?
Probably, yeah.
You think so?
The only thing is, what would this show be if it wasn't a Marvel show?
Just about some lady just trying to date and stuff like that. Or how about, it could still be a superhero show, but it wasn't She-Hulk. Like it wasn't like a Marvel character. Just some strong woman. You know what I mean? Kind of like there's been superhero movies shows in the past that didn't revolve around Marvel, or like what was that show, The Tick, on Amazon Prime, which is actually a good show.
I never watched The Tick.
I don't think you would like it, but it was a good show.
I would say I would still watch She Hulk just because. See, I'm just trying to think of how that show would be outside of like her being She Hulk, because she would still need because it would still be the same show.
What do you mean?
Like just because Marvel's not attached, like say we remove Marvel, she's still a superhero. Like it's still the same show, and I still enjoyed what it was.
Okay, if you enjoy it, that's good for you. I'm just saying a lot of people didn't enjoy it. Just from like all the TikToks and all the views. That's when like people were like ridiculing it badly. And
Mm-hmm.
although I didn't fully agree with the ridicule, like I kind of understand like the Megan Thee Stallion and her doing her twerking on the episode.
Yo yo yo, what's good, Reese?
Yeah,
Thanks
what's
for
up,
joining
man?
us. Yeah, I
Um,
mean,
we switched too.
I didn't really care. Like I thought the whole Megan the Stallion thing was good for getting people to watch. Like that's really all it was for.
Oh yeah, for sure. But they've been doing that too. They did that in the Mandalorian season 3. I think they introduced Jack Black and Lizzo, and people were not happy about that either. They did not like that.
It's just because if you're gonna throw someone into it, I feel like it should be how it was done in She Hulk. like Megan the Stallion playing Megan the Stallion, not someone playing an actual role that requires an extra level or layer of acting.
I haven't seen Mandalorian season 3, but from what I get, they actually get like speaking roles, like uh, and if you're gonna do cameos, like I think the best cameos are like in Mandalorian season 1 when they had Jason Sudeikis and Alan Tudyk, I think it's called, and
Okay.
uh, and they played the voices of two stormtroopers. See, cameo like that, that's different, right? Which is not, it's not based on the face,
Right. It's
because
like
a lot, you know what I mean? But like with the Lizzo and the Jack Black, it kind of like, it kind of I think part of it is because it throws the viewer off and like takes him out of that like that space where they're supposed to be. You're supposed to
mhm,
be fully immersed in there, and then when you see Jack Black and Lizzo, then you're like, oh, it's Jack Black and Lizzo. I think what you said makes sense too, like in regards to with the Megan the Stallion doesn't fully take you out of it because the episode
right.
revolved around her, like not the whole thing. It wasn't all about her, but there was some sort of litigation that had to do. She was like She Hulk is a lawyer, and there was like some sort of case with Megan the Stallion and
Yeah,
something like that. So
they tied
that
it in
that
well.
and within there that kind of made sense, right? And so it doesn't really take the viewer out. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, she's a
Mhm,
big profile. This is a big law firm. Okay, that makes kind of a little bit of sense, right?
right.
Uh, with Jack Black, and they're not playing Jack Black, and Liz is not playing herself, and Jack Black's not playing himself, but it still takes the viewer out because it's like, why are they there? Unless it was, they should have just done like a mini, like a non-talking cameos, probably would have been the best. Just
Or
to keep
even like they're at some bar and like Lizzo's
that's
character is performing on stage, and then like she has like a slight speaking role, but nothing too crazy. But it's not a role that like people can't see her in. I would say.
exactly. I do agree with that, and definitely don't put like you could like the camera can go a second like on her face and like see her sing in the background and stuff, but not make
Right.
it the whole main thing, because then that takes the viewer out of that experience as well.
That's
You
true
know?
too. It has to blend like the performance with the bar
Hmm.
setting and what else, everything else going on.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's the things kind of ruining like kind of like the Marvel stuff and everything.
So
But
the next DC release is that Blue Beetle.
oh, maybe.
Let's see. Yep,
You know,
Blue Beetle.
I'm wearing my poncho. I'm gonna go there with my poncho, my sombrero. You had your time, Daniel. It's my time.
Listen, do whatever you want to do. However you
Mhm.
feel like you should support Blue Beetle and the Hispanic actor movement. Go ahead, do you? Who am I to say no? Who am I to say no?
I'm excited for that. I know Dean said last week or 2 weeks ago that he was not like looking forward to that, and the other thing a lot of people are, but I saw like the trailer looked really good, the costume looks really good, and the introduction, it's like, just the way I like that they kind of changed it up because in a lot of superhero movies they get these powers and the whole time it's about, oh, I gotta like hide it from my family. But like, we Latinos, we're like really open with each other a lot of the time. So we're like, yo, mom, like, I got this blue beetle, man. Like, all right, there, I'm like gonna turn into like a beetle that's like azul. And like, oh my
I
God, Dios
mean,
mío, like Dios give you
that
all these
is
powers.
that's
Dios
not how that happened in the movie from what I saw, but
That's how exactly how it happened. Don't believe the lies, what the media tells you. That's exactly what happened. They were like, "Oh my God, you got bit by a blue beetle. You're gonna become a beetle." Like, no, mommy, I didn't. It's just like these like little cyborg on top of me. It's like a parasite. I was saying,
I
"Oh my
actually don't know
God,
the Blue
man."
Beetle story.
So the story, I think the origin is has to do with so this kid, I want to say Jaime, I think his name is. So he's Latino's kid, right? He lives in like New Mexico or some shit, and this parasite. You never saw Young Justice? It's on Young Justice. It's a good show. You should watch it. It's on HBO Max, but
I've seen episodes of Young Justice. I haven't watched it straight
yeah,
through though.
they explain. Oh yeah, they go through it much better in there. So yeah, he gets it and it attaches to his body, and it's like some sort of weapon. It's like this weapon that has like kind of like a conscience. It's like but I wouldn't. I think it's like yeah, very 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 futuristic AI type shit, and so it
Mhm.
attaches to his back. Like grasp onto him, and because it needs a host in order to be able to be activated.
Okay.
And I forgot exactly. I think they changed like why, like I think it's there's some sort of invasion and other beings have that thing, and then they have to kind of
Okay.
like fight and stuff because they're trying to take over the earth. But he has it, and the thing is just like very, very. At first, I think the AI is very, very logical in its responses. So any like sort of like altercations, kind of like how a Terminator, it has to learn. It's like okay, yo, they were playing around or some shit like that. It's like don't
So
kill
like
him,
typical
right?
AI, it learns
Yeah,
as it
yeah.
does. Yeah, yeah.
You have like the bully that comes up and he's like, "Hey, Jaime, when you're
Trying to
going
start some
back to
shit.
Mexico, you illegal." Like, what I mean? It's like that's what that's what they told me. They no, they actually did when I was in high school. They would be like that.
Did they really? They really
Yeah, they
called you
called
were
me. I
Mexican?
was like the only Latino kid and like one of the only Latino kids, so they would call me like Mexican, and they would say
Mm,
like call me illegal. I never got bothered by it though. It didn't bother me, so I always found it funny. Um,
damn.
yeah,
Yeah, no, there were hella Hispanics in my school, so
yeah. Oh, so they wouldn't try that shit on them. Absolutely not. But yeah, but like, yeah, so you have the little bully. But thinking of how like DC and Marvel works, they'll probably make it like kind of like very, very race related. It's not gonna be like, oh, this guy who happens to be Latino. It's gonna be like, he getting bullied by the white kid, some redneck is like, yo, Jaime, when you going back to Mexico, and it pushes, and then the thing like starts activating is like kill the racist. And he's like,
that would
"No,
be
yo,
crazy. That
chill,
would be
chill,
crazy.
Beetle, chill, chill. No, 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 no. He's a dick, but like, don't you shouldn't be just killing anybody. You know,
I,
that's
I am
probably how it'll
wondering.
play out too.
The only
And
thing that drew me away from that movie, I felt like they did not need to throw George Lopez in that movie.
George Lopez does not represent all Latinos. Like, I don't know why they had to just like kind of fucking put
That's
him
what
in
I'm
for
saying. They
everybody.
did not have to put George Lopez in that movie.
They put
Like,
George Lopez.
what service were you doing? Like that's where I'm trying to get at. What service are you doing putting George Lopez in that movie?
He's like, they think it's like a rapper. It's like, so Johnson, like they're at the meeting, they're like, so Johnson, what do you think? Who, like, when you think of Latinos, like, what do you think?
What do you?
Okay,
No, no, you got to go
burritos,
through the list. They had to go through the
tacos,
list. They were like,
you know.
what comical Hispanic actor is available? And then there's like a bunch of them already in Marvel movies and Marvel contracts. They're like, damn, we're really stuck with George
Who's
Lopez.
left? Who's left?
That's how that conversation went. I'm sure, for sure. That's definitely.
We gotta get Lopez. George, call him right now. You know.
They Google real quick. Available Hispanic comedians,
Yeah,
and it
Carlos
was just
Mencia wasn't available.
it was like George Lopez's availability is all right there. He hasn't been doing shit. Let's give him something to do.
He has actually. I think he has like a show. Um, he has a show.
What they rebooted the George Lopez show or
Kind of
something?
like it was kind of like a reboot in a way. It's just him doing the same old shit.
Damn.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll watch that.
Yeah,
They
I'll
announced
watch.
an, they announced a new Superman too.
I did hear about that.
He just like it's not no one I know. It's just some guy who just happens to look like Superman.
Hey, he might Set it on a wheel. Who knows?
Maybe, probably. He looks like skinnier than Henry Cavill. So we'll see. Hopefully they kind of do it differently. I noticed, you know, I hope they do it like kind of like how they did it with Spider-Man, where Spider-Man was still not like in for Tom Holland Spider-Man. He
Hmm.
wasn't like they did the origin story already, so they're kind of into his like second year.
Just go straight into it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Same thing with the Batman too. With Matt Reeves Batman, with Robert Pattinson as Batman, they were
Hmm.
in his second year and it wasn't his first year, right?
Okay.
I think that would be probably the best way to go, just because we already know kind of the Superman story. You know what I mean? So there's
That's
like
true.
no needs to kind of revisit it. We've really just kind of want like just like kind of like a true battle. Like we did have that in Man of Steel with him going up against Zod and shit like that. But
We did.
we're tired. You know what I mean? But I'm like, I want something like Brainiac or something like that. Or Brainiac is too big of a villain. I feel like it's one that needs to be developed. Um, but uh, but like a different, different type of villain, not Lex Luthor, unless they fucking pick like Lex Luthor in the background's okay, you know.
Yeah, like a two villain type of situation.
Yeah, yeah, but doing it right.
Not like Wonder Woman, the second movie type at all. Don't do that type of situation.
Oh god, that movie was horrible. That was so bad. That was so bad. It was really bad. Yeah, no, and Lex Luthor's got to be played by like a good actor that's not like a goofy like Jesse Eisenberg. It needs to be played by like Bryan Cranston or someone.
That's gonna be an old ass Lex Luthor.
Yeah, I can't really. There's some other people that I could think that could pull it off. You just need like some bald guy that's young, that's like a good actor.
Yeah, I
Some
think it just has to be the perfect balance of like ingenious and devious.
That's why Bryan Cranston I feel like would be perfect.
That's because you're just going straight to that Breaking Bad.
Yeah, hell yeah. Heisenberg, yeah, definitely would be my go-to. Um, but then there's others like bad guys that need to be put into place. I don't even know.
My
Um,
my dream movie right now would be a Batman movie where the villain is Scarecrow, like a super dark Batman movie with Scarecrow as the villain,
the main villain,
the
because
main villain.
Scarecrow was
Yeah,
in the Scarecrow was technically one of the main villains in the Batman Begins.
yeah, but I need like
Like you mean a more comic-y book version of a Scarecrow instead of more grounded into reality.
I would say like a Scarecrow Batman movie with the same tone as the Robert Pattinson Batman movie.
So still based in reality.
Still based in reality, but that same darkness and grit that the Robert Pattinson one had.
Yeah, no, the Robert Pattinson movie was good. It wasn't great. The first act was really really good, but then it kind of got boring, and then it seemed like I was watching a different movie
It yeah, there was that like shift.
because
I
it went from
mm,
yeah, sorry, from Riddler to like the file as if like the gangsters, and then it went
yeah,
back to kind of Riddler, even though like Riddler had something to do with the gangsters, but then they started kind of just entirely kind of focusing on the gangsters.
that's
and then
true.
it and then it just kind of became like there's just too much going on. It wasn't a bad movie at all. It's just too much going on.
I would even say a Batman movie with Scarecrow as the villain in the same style as The Dark Knight.
Yeah, that's less dark
It's a
than
little less dark, but the
so just,
story was very well done.
well, Cillian Murphy, just bring him back.
I mean, that's if they decide to follow that same timeline, though.
I think I don't know if Christopher Nolan will ever come back to do it. Maybe, maybe not. But definitely, I would love to see. What would I love to see in regards to comic book movies? There's not really much left except like a true good Justice League movie that's like kind of like Avengers
Hmm.
level, like in regards to the way that they set it up.
Yeah.
I think
Although
that would be.
The Snyder cut was good.
It was. You saw it, right? Yeah, that was
Mhm.
good. That was good. That was good. I was surprised by how good it was. It was the first time that I had seen like always people like say like the director's cut, director's cut. I was like, okay, they add a few more deleted scenes, but this was like an entirely different movie.
It
I
was.
was like, what?
Yeah.
I understand why they couldn't put it out. It was so long. I had to watch it over like 3 sittings. Because since it was so long, but like they could have done a part one and part two,
They could have. They could
and
have.
then that would have worked out. But I think it was overall really good, done really well.
I agree. So with these last few minutes, since we've been going for a minute, what do you got going on, Zen? What projects
Oh,
you got dropping?
I
What
got
do
the SoundCloud mixtape coming out end of Arc One, which is like a lot of unreleased music that I had from my first, my sessions back in like September, and I'm also working on new music. I got the All I Ever Wanted remix coming out at July 27th with Hogs and Brian Xavier. So that'll be like Spotify on Spotify as well as like SoundCloud and all other release platforms. And then I'm gonna start my phase two. So I've been working on like drill tracks and stuff. I think I showed you maybe a few. You don't like
you?
them, but
This guy.
Uh, it doesn't even deny it. No, just
Because
but
there's just no point. There's no point in denying it. There's just no point because
uh,
it's gonna be a running thing. Even if I do deny, so there's no point.
oh yeah, it's true. It's right. But yeah, I have those a bunch of tracks. I'm trying to like just pick out, and then for some of the songs that I make during, I'm probably almost done with like phase two. I would say, yeah. After I finish, like probably a few more sessions, and then I'll finish that, and then on to phase three. But like that won't be you won't be seeing those songs for like until like December or January. you know, because
Okay.
like yeah, those songs will be for and maybe even closer. I may just pick like 4 songs to put out for because I'm like experimenting a lot. So I do a lot of so I'm doing like the drill right now. I've been doing for a little bit.
Mhm.
Um, um, I love like boom bap, so I'll do like that. Kind of just sprinkle that in there a little bit. And I did like I think one more trap song. And then like auto tune, which is like probably drill and auto tune are probably my two favorite things to do. And boom bap a little bit.
So are you gonna end every phase with like an end of arc SoundCloud exclusive
Yeah,
mixtape?
yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then like kind of like do a remix maybe or something at the end of each phase to kind of, you know what I mean? I wouldn't call these like B sides, but they're, I tweaked them up and they're definitely not bad songs. So, definitely hear that. And I got a song with you coming out on both on that mixtape and then also we got something in the works too. So that'll be dope.
Yeah, that should be good. That's pretty solid.
How about you? What do you got cooking?
I got a single cooking up for a mid July release, which is gonna it's one of my more experimental tracks. So I released About You back in May, which is going to be part of a much bigger project eventually. But the song that I'm releasing next month won't be on that project. It's just really just a single that I'm experimenting with because I love Afro beats music and it's the summertime, so I felt like I should release a summer track with Afro beats. So I'm gonna be mixing up some singles that'll just be straight singles because I want to experiment with sounds. Oh man, yeah. About you, go stream that. That's out on all platforms.
Yeah, check that out. It's a really good song.
But yeah, so like they're gonna be singles that I'm doing, which are like gonna me experimenting with different sounds that I just want to experiment with. That won't be on like my project, but and then there I'm gonna be releasing singles that will be on the project as well. So
Hmm.
the first single about you was one that'll be on the project. The next single called Summer Aura will not be on the project, but will be released. So I'm trying to do like a every other. So every other song will be a single that will be on the project, and then opposite would be songs that probably won't be on the project, but are songs that like I just want to experiment with.
Hmm. You know, that just made me think of an interesting topic we could talk about that would help you out and help out anybody else. In marketing ideas, bouncing off like ideas. We don't have to talk like like not today, but like on a future episode about like how to kind of implement and just like market,
Yeah,
stuff in order to kind of get it, you know, because like for me at least, I hate doing like I don't want to do playlists anymore. I think the best thing or one of the best things is definitely like Facebook ads and stuff like that and gaining a following.
yeah. You really gotta like shove stuff in people's face
Mm-hmm.
to get them to see it.
We could definitely talk about that. Feel like who would be a good? Probably Nick would be a good pick to talk about that with. We could bring him on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, is there anything else that's popping up with you?
Uh, what else is popping up? That's really it. I mean, just grinding out shit in the studio. Like you said, we got that one song that we're working on outside of the Cake remix. Um, other than that, I mean, that's about it. I mean,
Hmm.
besides keep checking out the Reviews and Brews playlist. Make sure you submit any songs for submission. You got
Yeah, for
our
sure.
Instagrams at the real underscore DMG and at Zenodro 1992 and at the Reviews and Brews podcast on Instagram. And make sure you go listen to a bunch of the songs. We got artists like Reese, Lando is Living. YV Dean just dropped a new track today called The Light. Go check that out. And I mean, go stream. Oh, Overdrive's dropping something in
2 days.
2 days too. 2 days, Blood Over. So be on the lookout
Yeah.
for that as well.
Follow Studio 814. I'm an associated artist. Dan is my boss. That's what I told Nick. I was like, yeah, Dan's kind of like my boss. I was like, what? That's
How did
what
that
I
happen?
asked. As what I asked Lando. I was like, Lando, so does this make Dan my boss? Kind of.
Yeah, so check it out, and we will see you. I mean, for not Wednesday, we can't do Wednesday next week, so because you'll be busy, but we'll have to do maybe Tuesday.
What's
Tuesday's Fourth of
Wednesday?
July. I don't know what you got planned for the
Why am I
July.
busy on Wednesday? Oh, the
You,
thing. Yeah, yeah. I forgot about that. The open mic. Yeah. I kind of want to try it out, but we'll see. Oh yeah, yeah. Damn, we'll figure it out.
yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll be with you guys next week. So until then, peace out, and thanks for watching the Reviews and Brews podcast.
Podcast.